What nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for the Apothecary Diaries chapters 50 through 53.2. So before I get into this recap and live reaction, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and I am just a one woman in somewhere around here, one kitty operation struggling to keep a roof over our heads, and praying to the anime and manga gods that me and Kitty aren't going to start year 33 with us sleeping on the street. Yeah, we don't want to be homeless. No, and my 37 is shit enough as it is already. But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kick it so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below. So, last time I covered this manga, we were getting into the clinic, and the clinic is completely different from what we got in the palace so far, anyway. And it's for, you know, the lower class and all that shit. Servant points. Anyways, let's get to chapter 50 first, see what's in store for us today. In the Jade Palace. Oh, my apologies. I should have taken the medicine here. Iron, who was feeling unwell, has returned from the clinic. However, during her stay there, the old palace lady saw her drinking the medicine. I had sent her and asked about its origins. Well, when you consider the fact that the clinic is without a doctor, while also not being allowed to concoct medicine, bringing something like that inside certainly seems like a bad idea. So that palace lady asked for permission to borrow Mau Mau for a while. Oh shit! Oh my! So it ended up being summoned. After Mama ran into Jinshi as she was returning from the clinic, she had a flash of inspiration for a new medicine. And this chapter is titled Third Time's the Charm Part 1. What is Mau Mau searching for? Let's see. They even assigned Impa to escort me. This whole series of events has become troublesome. Say, Mau Mau, what were you doing next to the garden lantern yesterday? I was searching for ingredients to make medicine with, so someone ended up seeing me. After meeting Jinshi on my way back from the clinic, I had a sudden idea for a new medicine, and so set forth to look for ingredients later that night. You were searching next to the garden lantern? Don't tell me you were looking for bugs. It's not a bug. Really? Well, even if that's not the case, the number of things in your room has increased as of late. The smell of medicine is overwhelming. That's what Hanyan recently said with a face full of annoyance. That's pretty scary. That head maid is pretty uptight about the rules. Then again, I guess she does need to be in order to survive in the inner palace. Or else you might end up you should take care not to get kicked out, or else you might end up being forced to stay in the stables, you know. That's a great idea. What? That place is bigger than the room I'm currently staying in, not to mention it being far away from other people's rooms, meaning I won't have to worry about making too much noise at night. I could even move all the tools I found while cleaning the medical office there, and maybe use them to craft something. Let's quickly finish our business here. Wait, what? Wait. I'll ask Madame Hanyan to place me there. Wait. Forgive me for my rudeness yesterday. Oh, here we go. Clinic Palace Lady, Shenryu. I had no idea you were a servant of the noble consort. No worries. Her eyes are the same color as Consort Gyokyu. I guess her name, Shenryu, okay, green eyes, must have been inspired by her eyes. Maybe she has some Western blood mixed in her. The title given to Consort Gyokyu is one of the noble consort. A lot of palace ladies who work directly under a consort refer to them by their titles. So there's noble consort, able consort, pure consort, and virtuous consort. She isn't using her maternal tone like yesterday. Her having stayed in the inner palace for such a long time means that she's either a well-educated person with some wit, or that there's some special reason behind it. Even so, I don't feel comfortable being given special treatment like this. Most people tend to look the other way when it comes to the doings of consort and her maids, and yet she still summoned me. This must be awkward for her as well. Well, this might be rude of me. I'd like to ask you for a favor. What is it? I'm already used to being treated poorly, not to mention I'm usually the one being rude. Could you make some medicine for a lady serving the able courts? Oh my god, the able consort? What? Do you realize what you're asking for? I know. The able consort, so it's Consort Rifa. For her to ask me, a maid of Consort Gyokyu, to make a medicine for a lady of another palace means Seems like you have a reason for this. Mao? Sorry, but let's at least hear her out. Would you be so kind as to fill us in on the situation? I understand. There's a maid who would often come to the northern laundry area where I usually do the laundry, and as a result, I could tell that she had been experiencing fatigue and fever for some time. After she developed a strange cough, I told her to come to get some proper rest for once here at the clinic. But I haven't seen her come to the laundry area ever since then. She never came to the clinic? No, she didn't. I did tell her that she should at least come get her strange cough checked out. I didn't receive permission from my higher up, she said. That's the disgusting part. For a lower maid who works the laundry, the one she needs to ask for permission is not the consort, but rather one of the consort's personal maid. That's fucked up. It's not unusual for them to ignore a lower maid's request. It has been 5 days since I've last seen the maid. This has become troublesome. Yeah. Do you really think she's there? Well, she could have just been relocated to another laundry area. Still, I think it should be investigated. If things are as she said, that maid needs to be found immediately. Based on her symptoms, it's not something that can be left alone. This issue can escalate into one that won't just end with the Crystal Palace if I don't handle this properly. Yeah, this could be a virus. It could be bad. Mamo, I know you tend to do your own thing, but please mind the place. You need to send a request before visiting. Don't just go barging in there. All right. Yeah, barging in there wouldn't be a good idea. I really want to go there as soon as possible, but given what happened last time, I'm probably going to have to bring Jinshi along in order to do this. I should focus on something else to calm down for now. Huh? Mamo? Ooh, she's sniffing something. She picked up something. Mamo, what did I just tell you about doing things on your own? Sorry, it's just that I found something I was looking for. Something you were looking for? Is it a bug? Just stop. It's not a bug. Besides, it's not its main body anyway. Look, it ran away, but I managed to get its tail. I suspected that they might be eating insects that gather around the garden lanterns. That's also why I was looking for them there yesterday. A lizard that has lost its tail will be able to grow it back. So no matter what happens, don't give up hope. Just like a certain wise man from somewhere once said, it's only once you give up. If I want to make medicine to grow something back, I'll have to research something that has a similar effect. I wanted to find out how they're able to grow their tail back. Oh, what? If she fainted! Oh, no! I don't blame her, though. Let's get to chapter 51. Before entering the court, the most important thing for our household is to obtain the Emperor's favor. This is what I've been told for as long as I can remember, and whenever that happened, there would always be a girl who looked exactly like me standing beside me. And this chapter is titled Third Time's the Charm Part 2, accompanying the quack doctor. All right, here we go. The Crystal Palace. Oh, why is he even here? What's with the commotion? Isn't he the useless doctor who's somehow still able to live carefree even after having let the Crown Prince die? How unusual. He barely showed his face in the Jade Palace for the past year. So why did he decide to show up now of all times? The one behind him is a palace lady? He should normally be accompanied by a eunuch, but no choice then. What can I help you with? Your handmaid, Shin, yeah. I would like to meet the able consort. Able consort? I didn't want to hear him utter that at all. My apologies. I think Lady Rifa would want to meet with you. I come bearing this document. I understand. Please follow me. See, come bearing paperwork and then bitches like her have to stand down. What is it? I was just wondering what that small shack over there is for. It's just an ordinary warehouse. Liar. Have you done anything to the garden lately? No, we leave it to the gardener who periodically comes by. I see. Now that he mentions it, has this plant always been here? Madam Shin, you're wearing perfume today, aren't you? It's been some time, Madam Shin. Please pardon me for the discourtesy from a few days ago. You're from back then. Hey, lass. Uncle, hot water. Please go boil some hot water. Oh shit, there's the girl that was passed out. Dude, there's the girl that was sick. Dude, I knew there was something sus going on. Yes, of course. Here, drink this. What's with this treatment? Seriously, what do you mean? It's common sense to isolate the sick so that the disease doesn't spread. While it's true that this is an infectious disease, continuing this kind of treatment will cause her to die. Of course, the death of a single lower maid only amounts to a small issue, but when I entered this room, I remembered. Back when Consort Riva was bedridden because of her disease, incense was burned as if something was trying to mask the smell. What are you trying to say? It would appear that this time you're trying to hide the smell of perfume with the smell of a sick person. Oh! Even if each individual perfume and spice didn't catch anyone's attention, mixing a few times of them will cause a particular smell to spread. Wait, there's nothing here. It turns out there's a lot of hidden things hidden by the maids of the Crystal Palace, wouldn't you say? Oh, to think there would be so many goods from the caravan that were banned a few days ago. It would appear that another poor eunuch is going to end up being whipped. Do tell me what you were planning on doing by making abortion medicine! What? What? She was making abortion medicine? What the fuck? Now let's get to chapter 52. In the Crystal Palace, I would have preferred having a bath, but I'm glad they at least provided me with a change of clothes. No matter how low the infectivity rate of the disease is, I can't just walk around the palace with clothes that have come in contact from mucus with mucus from the disease. But to think I'd get exposed on my very first visit, maybe my disguise wasn't even necessary in the first place. Accompanying a doctor as a maid seems to have only had the opposite effect of gathering more attention instead. Well then, the reception room of the Crystal Palace is filled with only the bare minimum of required personnel. The usual two, Consort Rifa and... What is the meaning of this? The head maid of the Crystal Palace as well as Consort Rifa's cousin, Shin. What? That's Consort Rifa's cousin? Oh god! And this chapter is titled Third Time's the Charm Part 3. So she's choosing to stay silent. To be able to maintain this attitude while being interrogated by Jinshi, man, not bad at all. Given that she's a blood relative of Consort Rifa, it wouldn't be strange if she were to become a middle-class consort. Perhaps her position is high enough to where she's able to object to Jinshi's investigation. Her appearance is somewhat similar to Consort Rifa's, a prideful woman with beauty capable of captivating anyone. I guess that's why she became a head maid. What a bitch, though. The more pretty flowers that gather in one place, the more attention it will attract. If a lower maid shares the bed with the emperor, and she has an appropriate social background, she will immediately be given the position of a consort. Such things have happened in the past, so it's not unheard of for a lower maid to become the mother of a country. But if that's the case, the feelings between these two cousins must be complicated. It'd be for the best if the two shared a bond of trust that transcends such conflict. Consort Gyokyu is really blessed in that regard. All the maids of the Jade Palace are attractive, yet none of them harbor any ambitions of trying to catch the Emperor's interest. They are merely there to support a Gyokyu as a consort. Though I do hope Gyokyu will be able to arrange a good marriage for Hanyan, who missed out on the usual age to get married because of her service. This is in sharp contrast with this head maid who had hidden contraband and was trying to make something with it. Her isolating the lower maid most likely won't be considered an offense. Moving the sick out of the main building to prevent the spread of disease is the correct response in such a situation. Even though the medical office is so free, it has practically become a place where eunuchs gather to drink tea. It doesn't change the fact that the quack doctor is still the sole doctor of the inner palace. It's not a place where a lower maid can go get treated. While there is a clinic where they can go, it has to be done with permission and an escort of another. However, not everyone will want to get treatment there since the place is run by women. And while it would be a problem if somebody died because of that attitude, can't be helped. That's just how cheap the life of a lower maid is. Sad. Jinshi will also take this into account and use the evidence in front of him instead of to prove what wrongdoings he can. Why do you have these items despite them having been prohibited? What were you trying to do with them? Well, I haven't the faintest idea of what you mean. Hey, at least you're doing the right thing by denying. When you're in that situation, all you can do is deny, deny, deny. I know it's fucked up, but seriously, just deny. I'm certainly the one who ordered the maid to be moved to the warehouse, but isn't the bigger issue here the lower maid from another palace who ended up barging in there instead of meeting with Lady Rifa as she was tasked to do? Ooh, she's deflecting! That's another thing that's kind of smart, not gonna lie. She's trying to change the subject? Yeah, she's trying to get the shit off her ass and put it on you, woman. That's what she's doing. It's true that we don't have proof that all the perfumes and spices that were found in the warehouse that actually belonged to Shin. While I did smell a similar perfume from her today, I smelled no such thing on her a few days ago when I visited this place to confirm the presence of perfumes. This is probably why her contraband didn't get confiscated once the seizures began. Whatever. We will know the truth once we ask the sick maid. You'll trust the words of a lower maid whose mind is clouded due to fever? So you're aware of the fact that she has a fever. Ooh! You're really kind. You went out of your way to check on the condition of your servant. Then I guess it wouldn't be strange if there were traces of perfume left on you. I know I shouldn't say anything more at this point. I really do, but I'm pissed off. I don't blame her. Madame Shin has the same smell as this perfume. I do wonder if the smell is really so strong that even though it was tucked neatly inside a basket, it would end up seeping out like that. Ooh, my apologies. It was befitting. Oh, did she scratch her? Oh, she slapped her. And scratched her. Damn. Damn, she has some claws on her. My apologies. It's unbefitting for someone of my lowly footing to touch one of your standing. We should have someone else investigate. Dilated pupils and an unpleasant smell of sweat. Both are indications that she is nervous. Oh, she's in trouble now. One last push. For that task, would you mind leaving it to me? Lady Rifa? Her outfit today is similar to the one consort Gyoki wore recently. What crime would she be charged with? Suppose that she attempted to make a drug to induce a miscarriage. It'd be akin to an assassination attempt on the crown prince. Ooh, shit! And that would be true regardless of which consort was her target. And that would be true regardless of which consort was her target? Of course. What? Even if I was her only intended victim? Consort, does that mean? So that's how it is. I always thought, what? What? I always thought it to be strange that there were no competent maids around Consort Rifa, despite her being really capable as a consort. It was because her maids were chosen with that very intention. The mastermind behind it being Shin. Aside from that one maid who was fired because of the poisonous face powder incident, her higher up, the head maid, wasn't charged with anything and is still in the room with us right now. Shin, I've always thought of you, the daughter of my father's elder sister, as my own sister. Yet despite that, you've never once treated me as a consort. You've never once thought I deserved to be the mother of the nation, haven't you? You and I both didn't know which one of us would end up becoming the consort until the very last moment. Isn't that right? It's true. Shin has never once addressed her as a consort. Ooh. What? Are you talking down on me? I've wholly stated that about you. Dude, she slapped her too? Oh, bitch is in trouble now. Studying etiquette, I'm better than you, and that's just scratching the surface. Well, you just scratched the surface of her face, so. But even though I'm better than you in everything, why does everyone? Is it because your father's the head of the family? Does that make you better than me? Dude, you're just a complete bitch. This is some karma on you, woman. Dude, she is jelly as fuck. Like, she's just jealous she ain't a consort. Don't make me laugh. I was raised my entire life to become the mother of the nation. Bitch, you just mad. You mad and you jelly and you trigger that you ain't the mother of the nation. It's because it's because you lack breast size. No, maybe saying the size of the container would be more appropriate. Dude, it's Bo. She don't have any titties or any ass. Ah! May I take that as an admission of guilt? Dude, she is one of these. She is a titty envy. She is one. Oh my god, what's the wording I'm thinking of here? Hold on. She is one of those. Oh my god, flat-chested Karens that's all pissed off. She is a titty envy Karen. Yes. May I take that as an admission of guilt? Yep. Bitch she is a Karen. She is not, but she is an uncaring Karen. And this chapter 52.2 is titled Third Time's a Charm Part 4. Shin has confessed to her sin, and as a result, wither in the skirt is a fair woman, Rifa. Woof! Don't touch me. You eunuchs are dirty. Unhand me, says the flat-chested Karen. Well, she's not completely flat-chested. She just titty envy. I said unhand me. You do run into these kinds of dirty mouth. Rifa and Shin, both their names respectively mean pear blossom and apricot. They're both from well-off families and have received appropriate education. As a result, their close lineage, oh my god, as a result of their close lineage, they were even given names as if they were being paired. Even so, this world is filled with stupid people, yes, who let their emotions get the best of them, causing them to commit a mistake. Shin is one of such people. This fucking line is everything. I have to read that again. Even so, this world is filled with stupid people who let their emotions get the best of them, causing them to commit a mistake. Yes, you can be educated all you want, but your emotions get the best of you. You commit mistakes. Gotta think smart and not with your heart. Well, there's some times where it's okay to think with your heart, but yeah, most of the time it's not. Looks like Madam Shin truly reveres His Majesty. Of course I do. What do you want about? I mean, to me it looks like it's the status that comes with being the mother of the nation that you truly love, unlike Consort Rifa. Ooh, it has become apparent that which Consort Rifa has and Shin does not. Even if Shin became the mother of the nation, what she loves would not be the citizens, but rather herself sitting in that position. The nation has no need for a queen who only wishes for power without even trying. Oh my god, she's a Karen! To fulfill the obligations that come with that role, dude, she is one of these fucking entitled Karens. Oh my god. Shin, is that how you felt all this time? Yes, slap her! I guess she's angry. No shit, she's angry. Sir Jinshi, I'm dismissing this head lady and waiting for my service on the grounds of having to personally raise my hand against her because of her use of abusive speech towards her mistress. Consort Rifa, that slap was a big enough of a punishment, right? No. I guess. She gonna punch her in the face? Consort, punch her in the face! Punch her in the face! Consort Rifa, please calm yourself. Well done. Rifa is no longer the consort she used to be. The girl who waited vacantly for her thread of life to be cut is no more. Damn straight, she realized that this bitch fucked her over. I formally request that she never be allowed in the inner palace again, regardless of circumstance. The consort showed her kindness with lenient punishment, but I believe it's enough of a disgrace for this woman. Even if she wants to enact revenge now, as a person who was chased out of the inner palace because of a scandal, there's nothing she could do. There will never again come a day when these two can look each other in the eyes. Yeah. May I ask you a question? What is it? How did you know the sick person was inside the warehouse? Even if you're familiar with the place, it still isn't something you can realize straight away, right? That's also why you decided on going through the trouble of putting on a disguise, so as to not attract attention if you were to visit multiple times. I did have some leads. When they came here to help last time, I happened to catch sight of them moving a maid's bed, so assuming there was a sick person, they would most likely be in an inconspicuous place separate from the rest of the maid's sleeping quarters. I didn't expect it to be a warehouse, though. Well, it was thanks to that. A garden plant? Looking at the base, it appears to have been planted shoddily. Yes, it wasn't there the last time I visited the Crystal Palace, so I assume someone intentionally moved it there. What can you tell? It's a flower called white blossom, or, as it's sometimes referred to, the 4 o'clock flower. You can extract white powder from its seeds. Despite its name, it's usually a red color, and yet the ones blooming there only consist of white flowers. According to Feng Shui, white and green combined represent good health. Someone went to great lengths to choose stems that produce white flowers and plant them there. My guess would be someone who cares enough about the sick person. Oh, my best guess would be someone who cares about the sick person. I see. White blossoms, though. Thinking about the whole chain of events, finding a sick person alongside a miscarriage-inducing drug. It's quite ironic. What's the matter with her? Sir Jinshi, please go on ahead. Why? Because you're in the way. Can I help you? What happened to the sick girl from that building? White flowers. She's no longer there. It was decided that she'll leave the inner palace. I see, so she left. Consort Rifa felt responsible for what happened to her and volunteered to pay the woman's medical costs and gave her a stipend to live off of. That was nice. But she's now able to receive treatment in a better environment compared to when she was here. So that's how it is. Aww. Yeah. And we got 2 chapters. We got a couple more chapters to go. Now we're at chapter 53.1. I liked how that arc ended. That was good. In the classroom, these lands used to be home to another tribe a long time ago. They did not have a leader, but One day, a woman from a faraway land came to take up residence. It was her who conceived in her belly the Son of Heaven. Who bore the blood of a royal is referred to as the first Empress Dowager, with eyes that could see even in the dark of a moonless night. Her child led the people and became this country's first emperor. It's the legend of the founding of this country, something no one at their age will take any interest in, as they've surely heard the story at least once before. The Inner Palace's Institute of Practical Studies was chosen to take place in a more well-maintained building in the north after it was remodeled for studies. I was interested in how it looked like, since I'm acquainted with some of the people attending, but as a result, I ended up being invited here by Jinshi and couldn't come up with an excuse. Sir Jinshi, they'll be able to see you. I know, don't worry. Dude, I ship them so much. The students are trying their best to concentrate on the class, but there's no way they'll be able to do that with this beautiful creature snooping around. So it's about 20 students. There were only around 10 at the start, so things have improved. That's amazing. If Jinshi's plan is successful and the literacy rate of maids increases as a result, changes in the Inner Palace will come sooner or later. That's great. Xiaoran is already able to remember words used in daily conversations and is now starting to be able to read simple stories. See, and yet mofos are hating on reading. I swear, there's people that refuse to read. Sad. Sir Jinshi, it's time. What are you going to do now? Is it all right for me to keep watching a little bit longer? Report to me if anything catches your attention. Of course. A short break after class can't hurt, and this chapter is titled The Shrine of Choosing Part 1. Ah, Mama, you came. How are your How are your studies? Still have a long way to go. Textbooks are provided, but since brushes and paper are consumable items, they use a sandbox as a replacement. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty smart. They study letters by writing them in the sand. Isn't the page you're reading right now meant for a future class? Yeah, but since I'm not that smart, I won't be able to keep up if I don't study beforehand. Dude! Like, where is this nowadays? I have a few questions for the teacher after this. Want to tag along? Excuse me, sorry for intruding. Ah, welcome. Is that an unfamiliar face I see? Oh, it's the old man who recited the textbook. I'm just accompanying her. I see, then please take a seat over there. They look just like a grandfather and his granddaughter. Is that a shrine? Judging by the number of closely spaced pillars for such a narrow building, it is likely that the interior is divided into a complicated series of rooms. That building looks much better better maintained than the rest of the buildings here, despite looking older than the Inner Palace itself. Maybe it's still being used for some rituals? Are you interested in that building? A little bit. I can't help but find the architecture somewhat odd. It's a shrine that was built by the original inhabitants of these lands. The first Empress Dowager came from a faraway land, yet didn't reject the local faith, and instead used it to govern the people. The first Empress Dowager is a figure that appears in the founding myth as the mother of the first emperor. The first Empress Dowager ordered that whoever is able to choose the correct path inside the shrine is to be appointed as the next leader. Her child was able to pass the test flawlessly and was appointed as the first emperor to rule over this land, excuse me. From there on, whoever wanted to rule this land was required to pass the shrine test. I see. It's also the reason why the capital was moved right here. So it's a rite of passage in order to become the emperor. But it hasn't been used in decades, and I fear it will never be used again. What do you mean by that? All brothers of the previous emperor were taken by the epidemic. Oh no. And since there was only one successor to the throne left, there was no need to use the shrine. I see. Certainly, that's the reason why the previous emperor, who was the youngest child, was able to obtain his position. There's an ugly rumor that the death of his older brothers had something to do with the empress regent at the time. This old eunuch, though, while I don't feel any hostility from him, the way he talks about the royal family feels somewhat impolite. It's as if he's a dispassionate scholar laying out the facts, but I must say it's been a rather long time since I've last found another person interested in that story. There are others who are also interested in that shrine? Yes, in fact, one of those people was a strange doctor who used to work here. He'd walk around the Inner Palace whenever he had free time. He'd have the same expression as you did when you looked at that building. Was the doctor named Rumen? He may have looked like a normal person at first glance, but no normal person goes around planting medicinal plants all over the Inner Palace. Do you know him? Maybe I shouldn't talk about him since he was banished as a criminal. He's my adoptive father. He runs a small apothecary now. Is that so? Rumen, aw, maybe the two of them were friends? Hannah, look, I can write it now. Yay! 2 days later in the Jade Palace. Hey, poison tester. I'm going to the Shrine of Choosing. Come with me. Ooh, what? Why, though? Jinshi and Gaoshan are also coming along. Looks like they're both clueless as to the reason as well. I wonder what's on his mind. I've been waiting. It's the teacher. May I enter once more? I'm afraid the results will not change no matter how many times you enter. The way he talks to the Emperor is sending chills down my spine. And who do you require for your attendance? Well, I'll go with these two. What? I understand why he chose Jinshi since he is in charge of performing ceremonies, but me? What are his intentions? Are women not forbidden in there or something? You may recall that the first Empress Dowager and the Empress Regent were both women. Well then, let's proceed. Dude, this Emperor is fucking awesome. Like, he's so progressive for his time. And not saying woke. There's difference between progressive and woke. Pass through the red door. Do not pass. Wait, does it say do not pass? Oh, do not pass through the red door. Three doors colored blue, red, and green in that order from the right. Do not pass through the red door is written. Which door do you choose? Since I chose the green door last time, I will choose blue this time. Indeed. Well, then let us carry on. This is the next one. A red, black, and white door. It says do not pass through the black door. Do not pass through the black door. All right, let's go with the red. Why would you pass through the red? It says not to pass through the red one. Why? Just as I was thinking, no one would ever come again. Someone comes along and saying they want to enter all of a sudden. Let me tell you, managing this place is a chore. I guess the colors on the door are more vivid than those of the walls and pillars because the old eunuch keeps repainting them. Dude, that eunuch is freaking passionate. That being said, how much longer is this going to go on? The layout of the shrine is so complex that it's messing with my sense of direction. Here's the next door. Do not pass through the blue door. A blue, purple, and yellow door. Do not pass through the blue door. Looks awfully serious. I'll choose the yellow door. Ooh, you are a child of the royal bloodline, but you are not a child of the first Empress Dowager. Ooh, I don't quite understand the meaning, but it's clearly a rejection. It would appear this was the last door, so nothing has changed since my last visit. Is it not meant for me to know the will of heaven? Your Majesty jests. It was I alone that has been left to oversee this shrine. Ever since it was closed away in the inner palace, heaven's will has nothing to do with it. This eunuch must be brimming with unshakable pride. He most likely accepted being castrated just so he could stay in the inner palace to protect this shrine. Aww. This is the way back. The Emperor stuck to the instructions written on the board, so why did he still fail? Was there some kind of hidden meaning in the instructions? Was it the number of rooms, the color of the chosen door? I'm certain Roman would understand. My old man would understand? You're saying my adopted father would know what's going on? I can't say, but it is likely. It's as if he's saying it's impossible if it's me. My old man is certainly smart, but that doesn't mean I like being looked down on. My old man's knowledge in medicine is exceptional, so is it perhaps related to that? I'm not my old man, so no matter how hard you stare at me, I won't be able to come up with the answer so easily. They're all staring at her. I still feel like something's amiss, though. 3 doors, 3 colors, and do you know the meaning behind it saying I'm not a child of the first Empress Dowager? The first Empress Dowager? It is said that in most cases it is the son that inherits the male trait from their father, while the daughter inherits the female trait from their mother. This country follows a patrilineal system, which means the title of the emperor is passed through the son. But in the founding myth of this country, there is no mention of the emperor's father at all. You are a child of the royal bloodline, but you are not a child of the first Empress Dowager. What is this right? This is a great question. What is this rite of passage? What if this rite of passage is used to find those from the male line that are still a direct descendant of the first Empress Dowager? The previous emperor's older brother, who was rumored to have died because of the epidemic as a result of the Empress Regiment scheme. Could they have... Sir Jinshi, were the brothers of the previous emperor all born from the same mother? Not all of them, but I have heard that the mothers of all the imperial princesses were sisters. In other words, they were closely related by blood. When it comes to noble blood, marrying sisters and close relatives isn't that uncommon. Truth be told, Consort Retha herself is also a not too distant relative of the Emperor. This may be considered terribly improper, but may I ask one more question? I'll allow it. I wonder if many of those who've occupied the throne throughout the generations have had poor eyesight. I have heard that many of them did not see well, but the previous emperor had good eyes. That shrine, could it be possible for us to enter it again? Woo! So the secret of the shrine. So let's get to the secret of the shrine, which is at chapter 53.2. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What is it that Mamau realized? That shrine, is it possible for us to enter it again? In this chapter is titled The Shrine of Choosing Part 2. Until now, all the women who have been brought to the shrine have been princesses or consorts. You were brought along as intended just now, however, allowing a stranger to advise on choosing the door is... Young lady, do you believe you have the qualifications to do so? If that's the case, I'll appoint her as my consort. What? Obtaining Rockin's permission will be challenging, but she'll qualify this way, won't she? Surely you jest. The other consorts will not be happy about this. Ooh, Shinji is protected. Look at that. It's like, nah, that's my woman, you fucker. This is the Emperor he's saying this to. Well, that's true. I thought the Emperor didn't have any interest in women with small chests. He seems to be relaxing in a somewhat different manner tonight, compared to when he's in Jade Palace. Then instead of me, you'll be the one to bring her in. Is that allowed? It would seem that the young lady wants to confirm something, and I'm curious as to what that is. If His Majesty so orders. Not only is Jinshi leading the front, he will also be the one choosing the door for this rite of passage. This would normally be considered impolite. He has a surprisingly playful side to him. Dude, this Emperor is fucking awesome. Do not pass through the... Which one? Blue door. Next, the white door. So she chose a different door. I see. This is the 10th room. You've never been to this room before. It says to choose the red door. There's no red door. What does this mean? A white, black, and green door. If that's the case, go through the green door and you'll understand. I see. This is... My congratulations. You have chosen the correct path. In the past, the person who was recognized to be the king by the first royal mother would stand in the highest building, which used to be the top of the shrine, and be asked with delivering a speech to the masses. It was said that when no one was able to choose the correct path, they would return in the company of a consort who was able to do so. Traditionally, only those of the proper blood have been able to succeed. But it would seem that someone else was able to guess the right order this time, even though you were the one who provoked me. What's wrong with this old man? Seriously. More importantly, could you explain to me what happened? How about we ask the young lady? You heard him. It's difficult to explain, so he dumped it all on me. Well then, let's talk about the basis for choosing first. In the first room, you have a blue, red, and green door, as well as a sign that says to not choose the red door. The door I chose was blue, but if we follow the instructions on the sign choosing green one shouldn't be wrong either. However, there are certain types of people who cannot distinguish between red and green. Yes, colorblind. Cannot distinguish? Yes. And it's precisely because they cannot distinguish between them that they will choose the door that they're certain cannot be red. Next room is also the same. When a person when a person can't distinguish between black and red, they will choose white. Two seemingly correct answers are presented when in reality only one of them is the correct answer. Then, as they'd be able to distinguish black and white in the last room, they would end up choosing the green door. That is correct. If the one who was able to reach the final room cannot distinguish between red and green, they will know the correct answer despite the door being green. And what does all this mean? The shrine was built to find descendants of the first royal mother by making use of their inability to distinguish between colors. Yep. While rare in this country, there is a certain percentage of people in the West who are born without the ability to distinguish between red and green. According to my old man, this condition is more prevalent in Western men. It manifests itself in about one in every 10 men. Even though it's an obstacle in daily life, they soon become accustomed to it and are surprisingly able to live unnoticed, appearing to no different from a normal person. The first royal mother from the legends is said to have been able to see in the darkness, right? While I can't confirm this, some claim that in exchange for losing the ability to distinguish between colors, they gain the ability to see well at night. For such a profoundly challenging trait to persist till present day, it is likely that it co-occurs with some other exceptional benefit. Isn't that the reason why the shrine was built as a selection test for the king? In the case of no king being chosen by the shrine, they needed guidance from a consort with Western blood who is a close relative of the first royal mother. That is also the reason why consorts are able to enter the shrine. According to the legends, the first royal mother is someone who came from a faraway place. It must have been difficult to bring her retainers to live in a new land, while also having a disadvantageous trait of not being able to distinguish between colors. While there are no mentions of her husband, the truth is that she most likely married to the leader of this land. It wasn't unusual for people from other lands to be taken in as spouses in order to dilute blood that had become too concentrated. It would also explain why this patrilineal system is being used here. But the first royal mother and her retainers did not wish for that, so they created a way for the blood lineage of the first royal mother to be used to determine the leader of this new land, using this very shrine. Her retainers kept passing down their Western technology to their descendants while living amongst the locals until they eventually became the center of society. As those who had witnessed their arrival died out, I fucked this up. From there on, the legend of the first royal mother was created as it was being passed down through many generations and warped into what it is today. As those who had witnessed their arrival died out, the story became the truth. A so-called peaceful and patient conquest. Woman is brilliant! Well, not that I could tell them that. So you're saying the blood of the first royal mother doesn't flow through me? Meaning my mother wasn't of royal lineage, nor was my grandmother and the empress regent? Nope. The shrine only exists as a meaning of determining that the blood is present. Even if the trait appears in their parents, it isn't always passed down to their child. The story would be different if the emperor's honored mother had been unfaithful, but there's no way to know the truth. Furthermore, allowing blood to become too concentrated can lead to its own problems. The emperor's brothers were not the only ones that died in the epidemic, as his close relatives weren't spared either. Perhaps their deaths also come as a result of trying too hard to maintain the royal bloodline. Who would have thought this young lady would be able to solve this riddle? It was said that the reason the first royal mother was able to rule this land was because she possessed unparalleled wisdom. Without wisdom, she wouldn't have been able to come up with the shrine as a means of maintaining their bloodline. No, she was smart. The first royal mother was brilliant. Might I suggest taking in someone like this lady? No, you're gonna piss on Chichi! Don't do that! What are you saying, this stinky old man? That's certainly an interesting suggestion, but I'd rather not make an enemy of Rakan. On top of that, her breast size leaves much to be desired. That was an unnecessary remark. But I assume there would be another people who wouldn't be pleased with that. Do be wary. I'm well aware. I know you are, your majesty. To be wary. Jinchi's like, nope, you ain't touching my woman. Who is he really? He doesn't look like someone who only caught the eyes of the emperor. Oh well, it doesn't matter. They say ignorance is bliss. Nah, ignorance is sin. She will regret that come in a few days' time, but for now, she remains blissfully unaware. We're getting Jinchi's past next chapter? Woo! Shit, I'm glad I caught up with this manga. Dude, this manga's fucking amazing. Jinchi, you better watch out. They're coming for you, woman. But I can't wait to get to Jinchi's past. This is something we've been, I think, all been dying for, but oh man. Bitch! She figured it out. That was sneaky, but good thing the Emperor is a titty man. But that bitch Shin, that Shin was let's be real, Shin is a goddamn Karen. She is a Karen. She was titty envy. I will give Mao Mao this. Mao Mao may be flat-chested, but I don't think Mao Mao is like extremely titty envy like Shin was. And maybe even ass envy too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below what you guys think. And what do you guys think of the first Empress? Bitch was smart. I will give her that. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Apothecary Diary content. A few ways you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. Just something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, we'll be seeing you later. Bye.